Buckle up, it's about to get real. Welcome to Uncut with Ashanti. I am your host, and I am thrilled to dive into the journeys of fascinating individuals from all walks of life. We'll explore their stories, their struggles, and their successes. The real talk you won't want to miss. Let's get into it. Welcome to Uncut with Ashanti. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ashanti, and I'm super excited to have you join us for tonight's conversations. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at Uncut with Ashanti for more exclusive content. And so I just want to say tonight I am thrilled to introduce our amazing guest. I hope I say your name right. Alaya. Is it Alaya?
Yep, it's Alaya.
I have Alaya White with us. She's a true entrepreneur and leader who's making waves in multiple industries, five as I can say, as the owner of Hella Wines, Ascend Communities, 828 Realty Group, Elite Leadership, and Nurturing Sisters. Alaya has built an impressive portfolio of businesses that showcase her passion for innovation in community and empowerment. I'm excited to dive into her journey, learn about her experiences, and hear her insights on entrepreneurship, leadership, and growth. Let's get started and welcome to the show, Alea. It's a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a blessing to even be asked to even join.
You are more than welcome. I know we've kind of been, like trying to find the perfect dates and stuff, but I'm happy that you are finally here. You have an incredible portfolio, and I feel like it would be an honor to hear about your journey and things that you've gone through and how you've gotten to where you're at as well. So
Mhm.
I'm going to pop it off by just saying thank you for being here. And if you could introduce yourself and just kind of give us a little bit about yourself so my listeners can get to know you as well.
Awesome, everybody. So, my name's Alaya. California, born and raised. Haven't been anywhere outside of there until now. Of course, definitely come from the struggle, but that's just an excuse. Still excel by the grace of God. BA in psychology, master's in biblical studies. I love people. Um, Everything I think that we do in order to be successful, it takes people. I tell everybody that. I don't care what it is you're doing, even if you're selling a product, if you write a book, it's going to take people for you to be successful because they have to read it. I pursue my degree in psychology is because I want to understand people because we could be complicated, but a lot of us it's a root to the issue of why we behave the way we behave. And so I did that and been actually in ministry for 21 years, like a literal licensed evangelist in ministry, working with young people, youth pastor, and all of that too. So on top of that, just dealing with that. Counseling them, but just always been business minded, very self educated when it comes to business. I did attend UC Berkeley Business of Haas. I did like a summer program out there to just learn about business, but I wasn't really paying attention. And plus, I was young, I was in high school. But when I got into my 20s and early 30s, it just hit. I just didn't want to be broke. And I asked God literally, I was like, Lord, help me, teach me how to manage what I do have. And once I learned how to master that, the rest was history. And so, where am I at now? So now I could say I have five businesses under my belt. And I'm trying to expand actually all of them, but building a team is important. And so I'm here right now. That's a little bit about my background. I kind of spread thin, dealing with people. Like I said, even being in ministry, dealing with people, counseling is one of my things. And so doing that and just being there for people on top of trying to build my empire, not working for nobody for the last almost 3 years, working for myself, which has been a lot. It's challenging, but it's also a blessing.
Of course, I understand that. That's impressive, though. Like, how did it all begin for you? Like, at what point did you just say like,
Mhm,
I really want to do this. I want to go ahead and pivot in
mhm,
these different industries. I know with ministry, you've been in ministry for so long.
mhm.
Was that just kind of like, okay, I'm going to go from this into different things, or how did you get into owning and running five businesses essentially?
So they kind of came sporadically. Y- so sometimes things drop into your spirit, right? And it's like timing is everything. So some of these things were dropping to my spirit even when I was younger, but I never knew how I was going to bring it to fruition. And then it's like when the season hits, it's like it's time to do this, it's time to do that. So I didn't even have this listed, but like I have my own little lip line called I Am More Cosmetics. I have like a red lip gloss and a pink lip gloss. I started that. That was back in like 2011, which did really good. But me, I gotta be honest. I always say I have unofficial ADHD because I'm always on the next wave. I'm gonna create something new, move on, create something else, create something else. That was in 2012, but I hella wines came about is because I'm from the Bay and this is I'm from the Bay area. We say hella people. Some people say it. Some people never heard of it. But everything is hella. We had hella fun. It was hella good. It was hella hot.
Yes.
They was hella mad. They was hella angry. You get what I'm saying? You hella childish. You hella stupid. That's just our word out there. And that was my mom's favorite word. She always used to be like, Pooh, that's my nickname. She'd be like, Pooh, we had hella fun. They had hella wine. They had hella this, hella that. And so I got into liking and having a love for wines because of my mother and my godmother. They love wines. And I start just becoming a wine connoisseur, cab, zin, and all this and that, and sparkling wines. And, we say sparkling wines because if the grapes don't come from France or Italy, it's not actually champagne. It's actually sparkling wine. It's only a champagne if the grapes come from literally France or Italy. And so when my mom passed, I wanted to do something in her memory. So I kind of branched off into the wine business. So I started a wine business called Hella Wines. I have like a rosé, and I have a rosé, and I have a brut, rosé and a brut, and I'm want to branch off into a cab, into a Chardonnay. So I started that business, which is doing great. Except for how when you get in a business, you have to learn the game and see what works and what does not work.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, anytime you're in business, sometimes in order to cut the cost, you have to cut the middleman and you got to become the
Very
middleman.
true. Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So at right now where we are is like we just took over our licensing because I had somebody else shipping and I had to give him a cut when he shipped my wines all across the United States. So now that's put on hold and we're just completing our wine shipping license so we can ship. So now what I'm gonna do is I can ship for people who own liquor and own alcohol. I can ship for them and I can take a cut. So I started that. And then the realty group started this because I'm going to tell you like this. One way to succeed out here for a great way of passive income is if you can invest in properties.
Yeah.
Like if you could try to invest in properties, and I'm gonna give it to you. So there's a website called GovEase where you can actually bid on properties at very low prices. I have friends that they like to bid at properties in Mississippi and stuff like that, renovate them and fix them up. I'm talking about like the bid might start at $1,000. He purchased a home for $5,000, sold it for 100,000, and it's a great way to create passive income. So I started a realty group because I have my loan officer license, just a jack of all trades, and I haven't mastered all of them, but I'm definitely a jack of all trades. And so that's how the realty group came about. And elite leadership is because in ministry, so many people who have all these ideas and don't have people to mentor them and show them the ropes, show them the game. Like, is it best to have an LLC or an S corp? But not understanding that in order to dodge taxes, you might have an LLC, but you can still file as an S corp, so you can dodge taxes if you need to. Just mentoring people like in ministry who have business ideas, but they don't know how to birth them, and people be charging an arm and a leg to tell you stuff that you could get for free, but a lot of us don't
They
like
do.
to research, right?
Hmm. They do. I mean, like seriously, they will charge
Uh-huh.
your arm and a leg to teach you something. That's why I try and tell people like anything that you can learn, even with AI, leverage that too,
Leverage it.
because that's what I'm working on right now. I'm building a software company, and that
Hmm.
is going to be a game changer. And I
Hmm.
think you got to learn how to do some other things, but you got to research because whatever you don't research, someone will charge you for it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I've been a heavy researcher. And so this is how I learn things. So I do try to help people in the best way possible. For instance, everybody on here listening, one thing if you don't have, you need a nonprofit. Everybody should get a nonprofit. You can file for a nonprofit. I mean, it's only about $600. File for a nonprofit. You say, hey, what can my nonprofit be? Your nonprofit could be anything you want it to be. It can be consulting young girls on doing makeup. It can be consulting on how to take care of elders. It can be it can be anything. And for those of us that if you're a homeowner, if you file a nonprofit, you can say that you operate out of your home and then you can make your property taxes non-exempt, meaning you don't have to pay property taxes. See,
Hmm.
these are the things that people don't understand that you can do, so everybody need a nonprofit. It's so much money out there that the government gives you to be a nonprofit. It could be teaching kids financial literacy. If you're good at running your mouth, which I am, you can just say, hey, I consult people on whatever it is. Um, I guess I forgot to say by day, because I know I talked about the entrepreneurial side, but in corporate, I'm human resources director. So I mean, I gotta say that plays a part too in business because I come in and help people who run large corporations how they can operate them efficiently, how you can get your employees to engage, how you can get your people to actually fall in line with the strategic business goals of the years, things like that. And so that has helped me in my business journey as an entrepreneur, my human resources experience.
Right, right. That's incredible though. But yeah, you
Hmm.
got to though. Like I feel like everything is out there. You just got to be willing to learn it. And I think like
Hmm.
even like with the taxes, like anytime that you are getting into a 1099 or you're just getting into an actual LLC, S corp, C corp,
Hmm.
anything that you're doing, like you gotta know like how that's going to affect you or shape you. And a lot of times people don't know, but it's like you can literally research it or find somebody that's willing to give it to you because you are absolutely right. Like people will charge you arm and a leg, or you will end up being the middleman forever. That's
And you absolutely will. So let me tell you something. So I actually, and let me say this, our environment really can shape kind of where we're trying to go. And I'll never forget, and I'm gonna say this, I haven't shared this with a lot of people. I know my phone people keep sending me texts. I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but my lawyer had told me the day I had became a multimillionaire, she said, you gotta change your environment. She said, you got to change your friends and the circle of people you hang around. And I'll never forget. And I told her, I said, well, how do I get in a room with these people? You see what I'm saying? Because it's easy.
hmm
People will tell you what you have to do, but they don't show you, they don't help you, they don't open up the door. So I feel like one of the reasons why I'm blessed is because I said, God, if you help me, I'll help other people. And
right.
so what I started doing to get myself in a room, and I'm not gonna lie, she did say, she said, I'll sit, I'll bring you around some of my colleagues so you can get around. You got to, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to get around other millionaires. I mean, that's just what it is. If you want to, where you trying to go, you got to get there. So what I started doing is I started going to leadership conferences and business conferences with other people that have businesses. And when I tell you, I found my tribe. I came out here to a leadership conference and I found my tribe with other people. I'm talking about other people who had businesses, who was in their 40s like me, who was in their 30s, who were also multimillionaires and got tech companies and things like that. And so when we sit at the table, we go out to eat. Guess what we arguing over? We're arguing over, I got the bill. No, you got the bill. I got the bill. You got the bill. And I'm thinking like, see, this right here, this would never have happened on a different type of level. So when you find your tribe, sometimes you just got to step out and go on your own. And where you're trying to go, you got to say, you know what, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pay for this conference. I'm gonna go so I can meet these people and network with these people so you can find like your tribe. And the conversation is different. You get what I'm saying?
It is most
Hmm.
definitely. I think me and you were talking about that
Hmm.
the other day. We talked about that, like um, the tier of where people are, and what you
Right.
talk about, and when you are in different rooms, even though it can be uncomfortable, but the conversation is never going to be what you are generally used to. It is not going to be the conversation that you had, with somebody that is that you might have known, years ago. That's not. where you want to be or something like that, it's not going to be the same conversation because they're talking about ideas. They're talking about teaching you how to get you even in a further position than what you're at. Most definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think I also think that what else is key is too is remembering, like I said, the whole thing about helping people and showing people the ropes. Sometimes it's you'll be amazed how blessed you'll be if you can show somebody the ropes. It's not always about trying to get paid $1 to show somebody else, what you did. And I'm just really not like I'm not that person. I don't want to be that person. I want to help other people grow. But I was telling somebody, and I think we were talking about this. I was telling somebody, just like when it comes to businesses, there's a website where you can get online and you can actually buy a business that's already established.
Mhm.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
can buy a YouTube channel. I did not know that. You can
Yeah.
buy an actual running YouTube channel now.
Exactly. Where you don't have to build the business from the ground up if it's too much work for you. Like they have businesses and they have like these websites, they have Instagram pages, social media pages that accumulate income. And I mean you can pay for it. They will show you how to operate it. Just for people who say, hey, I can't do all that leg work. But one of the key things that's growing too, if anybody can, I mean, and it costs very little to get started, the vending machine business is blooming. Put a vending machine somewhere. You know what kids like? They love hot chips, they love
Yes.
Takis, they love that. Put a vending machine somewhere in your neighborhood if you can. If you could find a good location where you know it's gonna be some kids. I mean, you can get a vending machine for three, four, $5,000.
They're like
You
a
see what I'm
like a
saying?
like a rec center because they got rec centers now, like almost where every school is
Uh-huh.
at.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it is.
Where you leave it at the front of your door. Somebody comes, picks them up. They take it to the area where they like wash, press. They do everything right, and then they bring it back
Right.
to you. So they wash and fold and take care of your clothes.
Exactly. Exactly. That parking lots are good ways to get passive streams of income. And so that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm because I always tell people I'm not a good saleswoman. Like I hate having to feel like I gotta sell something. Although I own wine, that's easy. People buy that all the time, especially locally. I mean, people always picking up cases of wine because we drink. Especially in California, people drink. We got a drinking problem. That's the problem with us now. But but I feel like I'm not a good salesperson, so I'm always trying to find a way where I can do like some passive income. And and so my thing with the Ascend Communities, which is a nonprofit that we just filed a 501(c)(3) status for, is because I want to teach people financial literacy on how to get houses, how to get their credit right. Because people think that there's one algorithm for credit and there's not. And I hate that they do that. Remember, we were talking about that too. You see all these
Yo,
people
we
holding up
need that.
50,000 credit cards, but they're not telling
Hmm.
you that if you don't accumulate some type of capital, you're gonna have to pay all those credit cards back.
Hmm.
And this is one reason why I don't knock people who have a job, because when I started my wine business, I had to invest $30,000 in my wine business. Guess what? It was all Leia's money. Leia didn't have to pay nobody back. So don't look at your job as something that's keeping you bound. Look at your job as a means to help you invest in you,
Yes,
because
yes,
that's what my
absolutely.
job
That's what
did.
that's what that's what Latoya Chin said. Like,
Mhm.
it's important to like use this to fund that goal, to fund that idea, to fund, like, you're literally finding ways. Because I think one of the most important thing is, how can you solve a problem? That is what the world needs. Like, when you look at business, how are
Right.
you solving a problem? Like, wine is always going to solve a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to have a stressful day, or they're celebrating family get-togethers. They're going to want to drink. They're going to like, that is a worldwide thing. So like, it's about solving a problem essentially.
Exactly. Exactly. How can you solve someone's problem? And I think that's key. I always I always think, like, when I be seeing this thing with this algorithm and this credit thing that people be throwing out there to people, you have to figure out, you have to learn the algorithm of your own credit. Because I found out that 5% usage was hurting my credit. So I had to drop mine down and keep it under 3%. You see what I'm saying? It's not one thing
Right.
across the board. Learn the algorithm when it comes to your credit. And you can get certain things off your credit. That is possible. You don't have to pay nobody to do it. You just have to write a letter. And now, like you said, use Chat GPT because it will tell you what you can say to get certain things removed off of your credit.
It will. I'm telling you, AI right now is a game changer in any market. Like I
Hmm.
use it for my podcast, like for
Hmm.
any market, it'll tell you like what you can change, what you can improve, or like how to word something. But for credit, for sure, you can use it. It can write the whole letter for you.
Exactly.
Like anything that you want to do is gonna give it to you. But I think it's the desire. You have to have the desire. You know what I'm saying? Lazy
Hmm.
hands ain't gonna get you paid in the world. You
And
gotta have the desire to want it, because when you want it for yourself, everything else comes together easier. But if you don't want it for yourself, you're not gonna get it.
exactly. You absolutely right. You gotta want it for yourself. So let me be honest. I don't want to make it seem all fluffy and pretty. Um, like our background and what we've been through has definitely shaped. It shapes who we are. Just with me, if I could just like be personal, just growing up, and my mom and dad was married for 23 years. They was married for 23 years. My mom was a PK kid. She was a preacher kid. My dad was an alcoholic and he was abusive. So I grew up in a very abusive household. It was me and my brother. My brother's 9 years older than me. How am I 40? He 49. And so I seen a lot. And I couldn't understand for the sake of my life. My mom didn't work for a long time. She was a housewife. And so one of the reasons I'm very independent is because I said to myself, like she said, most women who suffer in abusive relationships is because they don't have the money to leave. If they had the money, they would jet. And so in my back of my head, I always said to myself, whatever I do, God, I can't never be dependent upon nobody if I'm gonna be bullied and treated like this. And I hated that for her. We had a very great, loving mom, but eventually, we had to just leave. And I know for a fact that that shaped my worldview and who I am because I always hustle. Like that's one of my biggest issues. I cannot depend on anyone, so I need God to keep me in a place where I can always do it for myself. And also that's a two-edged sword because there's times where I need help. And I'll never forget my cousin said one time I was going through something. She called me. She said, I know you're going through it. She said, but the problem is you'll suffer and we won't know it. And I cried when she hung up and I said, God, I'm dying here and nobody knows it. But that's pride, which is not also a good thing. But has it helped me? Yeah, it helped me. I mean, I'm am I dependent? Yeah, but let me share something with y'all too, everybody that's listening. We gotta be careful when we be saying these prayers about how we want to be successful, we want to be the boss, we want to be a millionaire, we want to have this, we want to have that. Because when you wear that hat and that title, you gotta take care of everybody. You got to do stuff for everybody. You got to rescue everybody. And when it come down to it, you can't find one person to help you and rescue you. And and I had to tell somebody the other day. I said everything I have too is for my future. I mean, I'm not married. I have no kids. I plan on being married. I plan on having kids. I'm trying to establish myself too for me. So if a rainy day come, I'm secure and I am secure. But I also got to look at if I keep doing for all y'all, what I'm gonna have
Yeah,
left.
I talked to somebody about that the other day. That is very true. We will give and give and give and give and give, and then when we are at the bottom, there's not. And I think I told you that. Like, it's how we present ourselves. A friend of mine, she's in a travel business. Her name is Takesha. She said that. She was like, Ashanti, no one's ever really going to know that you're going through anything is because how you carry yourself. You
Right.
carry yourself with grace and pride and just like you're good. So no one is going to know if you're crying, if you're sad, if you're up, because you don't show that. So it is true like what you're saying.
Right. Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. People ain't gonna show up for you when you down and out, and so you always got to make sure that you secure on your rainy day. But that comes with the territory, and so this is why I learned not to judge people that's like in a good position. And we be like, you in a good position, why they don't help they people in that sense when they're in a good position? Because they will suck you dry if you let them, and you will be left without nothing. So at some point, of course, we supposed to give, and you do help people because that's what we're supposed to do, but don't give foolishly, if I could say that. Like use wisdom when helping people. Even when helping people, you got to use wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes it can leave you in a rut. and in bondage. And if you suffered and you paid a price that people have no clue of, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to sit up there and be wasteful. God ain't telling you to be stupid. He's just telling you to use wisdom.
Agree with that. I did not use a lot of wisdom in certain situations when it comes to
You're not
that,
the
and it
only one.
definitely bit me in my ass for sure. Like, cause you I think it has a lot to do with emotion too, because I think it depends on what it is and who it is. I
Right.
think it also depends on the severity of what is needed.
Right.
But I think like I don't regret it, if that makes sense. Like some of the things that I have done, I don't regret it because I know like that God's always gonna provide. Like there's always,
Right.
He's always gonna
Exactly.
find a different way. Like I maybe that was something that I just had to learn in that situation. In that moment
Right.
of my life.
Right. Exactly. And it is. And then not only that, in your journey, just in general, sometimes people don't understand the moves you make. Like for instance, I had people who was really bothered by the fact that I said I'm moving, I'm relocating from California to Dallas. There's people saying stuff, chatter, talk, questioning. Did you hear God? Did you blah blah this and all that? It was kind of offensive, but I'm glad that I knew what I needed to know for myself. I said my time is up in Cali. I got to shift. I'm coming to Dallas, and people were questioning me about my home in California because although I just got it built in 2021, I'm selling it. And I just got a high rise in Dallas and it works for me, but I had to know for myself what where I needed to be placed so that I can blossom in this next season. And sometimes people you love, closest people you love will not understand it, but you got to know for yourself what your path is so that you won't sabotage your own blessings and your own purpose, if that makes sense.
It does, absolutely. And I love how you worded that. I want to ask, how has your mindset changed over time as you've grown into your businesses and pursued your passions?
You know what? How has my mindset changed over time? So my perspective, I would say, definitely has changed. Well, the passing of my mother in 2021 really changed a lot for me, just mentally and emotionally, and all this and that. And then not only that, the stress of working in corporate world with people and how they behave, it showed me how not to behave in my business and when dealing with people in business and stuff like that. I'll tell you this much: one thing I learned just dealing with people, emotional intelligence is key. I pray for that, like emotional intelligence, not just in the business world, in my personal life. Meaning, if we're supposed to be leaders, we want to operate businesses. Even if you work and you go on to work, your emotional intelligence and how you handle and navigate conflict and complicated people and things like that says a lot about you. I think, for instance, because it's people that have amazing businesses, but they ignorant and they don't know how to behave. They don't know, they have no decorum. They have no good customer service skills. You have to have good people skills. And I say that even as an HR manager, if somebody come and you know the job, but your attitude is ugly, I'm not getting ready to risk the whole team because of your nasty attitude. I'll get rid of you and I'll hire somebody that's a rookie who know how to deal with people, because people make sacrifices for other people that's good to them. And that shaped my mindset in business. Like, I noticed because I come across a lot of people that got a lot of nastiness. Some people got a lot of snootiness. Some people, because they are millionaires, they got a lot of ugliness. You got to stay humble. You get what I'm saying? And you have to try your hardest. And sometimes people do tick you off. I'm not going to say I get it right all the time, but you got to have your safe haven where you can call people and vent and say, let me tell you about this person. I did that today with somebody. I said, let me tell you about this person who got money, but who tripping out. You got to have a safe haven so you can vent that out and come back to the table with a smile on your face.
Yeah, you got to. You're right about that, and I'm really sorry about the loss of your mother. I
Oh
know that
yeah.
that had to have been very difficult for you, and probably still to this day is.
Oh yeah, the pain ain't got easier. I tell you that much at all. But it's definitely shaping my worldview. I do a lot of traveling now. I try to live on my own terms. I respect everybody, but life is short, so I just want to enjoy it. Because you can look up, and if she can go, anybody could go. You get where I'm coming from. So I'm still gonna live life and enjoy life. So I'll be on the move a lot. I probably need to sit down, but I don't really know how just yet. I'm trying to learn how to figure that out.
Don't sit down yet. You enjoy it. You ain't got no children. Enjoy it, because then when the family come, the children come, then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm glad I did all that when I did it."
That's what
Because when you
somebody
got them
told me.
kids, you got to sit down a little bit.
That's what somebody told me. But if I had my brother on this line, he'd be like, "Nah, my sister needs some medicine. She be on the next wave. So next week it's gonna be something different. She gonna find something else to build and create." And
I'm telling you.
I
But no,
that's his
it's
joke.
beautiful though that you have just done so much and grown so much, and that you didn't allow it to change your heart in a sense. Like I see your heart through it. So like I love that about you, and that you are still trying to teach other people, like help other people and show them like, hey, like you can do it this way. And even though if
Hmm.
five people told you that you can't do this, let me show you maybe that there's a possibility
Hmm.
that you can go a different way and still do it. And
Hmm.
I love your mindset in that, and how
Right.
open you are about it.
Right. You know what else I was gonna say too? Like even being helpful, you gotta be okay with just people not giving you your credit where it's credit due. I have friends that have successful businesses, logos and stuff like that they got from me. They called me because they didn't know what to do. And they've gone on to be great success. Guess what? I'm not mad. I'm happy for them. They're not gonna come back. Everybody ain't gonna always come back and be like, you know what? You the one who thought of this logo. You the one who said I should have did this. You the one who said I should have did that. But you just got to be okay with that. You see what I'm saying? Because it happens, and it's not about that at the end of the day. So whatever information, whatever free resources you gonna give, just know if they never come back and say thank you, don't be mad.
Absolutely. How do you handle like the personal, the family, the business? How do you make time like for yourself outside of everything that you're doing? What does a chill day look like for you, or do you have those?
You know what? You laughing at, yeah. So I am still kind of trying to learn how to balance that out. Um, because if I'm at home and it's a computer sitting in front of me, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm going. So me traveling away from home, and hear this out, that's where I rest the most. When I'm not at home, I gotta go travel to be away from the house in order for me to be able to say, oh, I could just breathe. I could just woosah. I just came back from a cruise, a 7 day cruise. About what was I got back on this on the 8th or the ninth. It was from the 2nd to the ninth, and I didn't even deal with my phone. I just was on a cruise, which was totally like good. Like I had to be isolated, but some reason I can't never really rest at the house, because at the house is where I do all my work because I work from home. See, and so I'm
Wow, that's but
learning how to
that is
navigate
like
that.
that.
Uh
It's
huh.
like that. It's like that usually, cuz and even like with kids and everything, like my daughter, she's a senior in high school right now, and it's just like,
Hmm.
whoo
It's a
wee. It
lot.
is so many responsibilities and things that she has to do. She's a part of like a million groups, and I'm just like, how did like what? I don't even know how she's
Right.
present for all of it, but it is like that. We rest when we go places,
Uh
when someone
huh.
else is hosting an event, or when we
Yep.
go on vacation. Because if I'm in my house, I'm cleaning the walls. I'm on the computer
Right.
trying to figure something else out. I'm doing like they like what? I pressure wash the house. They're like, "What are you
Right.
doing?" I'm like, I
Exactly.
don't know. It's looking at me. It looks like it needs to be shinier. Like I'm gonna find something to do.
Let's find something to
I'm
do.
not gonna sit down.
Right. Find something to do. And it's crazy. The only time I found myself resting, but I ain't really resting, if I could be honest, is when there were times and seasons where I was like depressed and I didn't do nothing. But it was depression. It wasn't me resting. See what I'm saying? And that's what was crazy. And then if somebody had to call me and they said, like, it's like, this is depression. You got to get up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And I
right.
was like, Oh God, I didn't been here. I ain't even been outside. It's been 2 days. Just the bed to the bathroom, to the bathroom, to the bed. This is depression. That's not rest though at the
Uh,
same
that's
time. And so
anxiety. That's completely different because then it's like you're in that sadness, and you got to get up. You got to do stuff. You got to get
I'm
active.
glad
You
I
got to,
just thought about that. Yeah.
when
I,
you move around and you're doing things, and
uh-huh.
it doesn't matter how small the task is, it gets your mind off of things, and it does help with that.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad that I mentioned that, and just to be transparent, because I'm usually not very a transparent person as far as my little personal struggles, but that is important too. I would tell everybody who's working, who's in business, even if you don't have a business, if you're just working every day and all this and that, therapy is amazing. Like, I have a therapist to call. You need somebody outside of your circle that's looking in to say, hey, have you did this? You need to go on a trip. You need to do this. Like my therapist said, Alaya, you need to go on a trip. She said this last year, and I didn't really go. And I went on trips, but I was doing little stuff. But I would say my free trip was just when I went on a cruise. Mind y'all, hear me out. She said that last year. I just went on a cruise in November. It took me what is that, 10 months to actually do what she said? See what I'm saying?
Right, right. It does it, but I think too, it's like it depends on like how your business is structured, and like if you just trust yourself. Because, like,
Yeah.
some people, like, if they operate a business on their own, it's very difficult for them to get time because that is like their bread and butter. So they don't know like how to deviate from it because they haven't taught anybody the business, or they haven't taught anybody like, okay, I know that this person can do this so that I can get away. But it's like if you don't have that trust, then how are you going to take the break? It'll make it more difficult for people.
So I'm glad that you said that, because that's what I'm kind of working on. I want to get into a place where I can build a team, but I also understand that teams need to be paid, and I'm saying like pay good money. I don't want anybody doing nothing for me not at a very good price, and so that's kind of where I'm at. Let me back up too for people who want to establish stuff, because I don't have kids, but I have nieces, and I said I want to establish them the way that I wasn't established, breaking generational curses. So what I did was I knew for a fact that I would never be in the same position financially that I was back in the day. So when I got my like all my the few credit cards and stuff that I got, I knew, because this is my heart. I would never put my nieces in a predicament where it would hurt them. So I put them on my credit cards and stuff when they was 15 and 16 and things like that, because I knew I was barely using my credit cards. I just had them. I might use it once a month or something, just to have some type of activity on there. And so now that one is 20, the other one is 24, they have 700 and some credit score. One got 780, one got 730. See what I'm saying?
That's how
So
my kids are.
yeah, I wanted them to get out of high school with established credit. So I established credit for them. And this is why they can get one. My little 20-year-old niece, she go to NCAT in North Carolina. She got her own spot. Credit is A1. And my 24-year-old niece, her credit is A1. She said, Auntie, my credit is good. Thank you. Because they have credit cards. Mind you, I got their credit cards though. Well, not my niece in college. In case it's an emergency, I told her, if you can't do nothing, money talks. You need this credit card. You get yourself out of something. But she's very responsible. And so I told her when she was younger, I said, you got to have money in different places. So when she was 16, when we opened up her a few bank accounts, not just with one bank, but I opened up her bank account. She got one at Chase, she got one at a credit union, she got another one. So I try to teach her how to manage money. And it's funny because my brother said, you need to talk to, and this is his daughter. He said, you need to talk to her, man. She be always acting like she broke.
That's Jayla. Like, she'll go to work, guys. I cannot make this up. She will go to work, and it's like the money is gone. Packages are arriving every day. Like, I am the UPS facility.
Right.
I'm
And
like,
she,
girl, like, and it's like, but I need this, and there's an event here, and there's a photo shoot here, and I have to
uh-huh,
go here. I'm like, girl,
right.
you gotta learn how to manage that.
Right, but she be acting like she broke. But no, but my
Hmm.
niece be lying though. My brother says she be acting like she broke. He said she asked me to take her to Jack in the Box. We pull into the to Jack in the Box, and I said, "Oh, Nish, you gonna buy me a taco?" And she talking about, "Nah, she ain't got no money."
Yep,
He
that's
said,
how
I
she.
looked at her
Yeah,
like, "What the
that's.
fuck?"
Listen,
He said, "I'm
Jayla
never."
will come to me and be like, "Mama, can you give me this?" and I'll give it to her, and then she'll go to my son, her brother, and ask him, and he'll give it to her. The whole time she got money, she just played both of us out of some money. I'll
But
be
you know,
like, golly.
the financial literacy, but I educated her. So I did. I called her, I said this. I said, your daddy told me you told him to take you to Jack in the Box and he went to take you to get something to eat. He wants you to buy him a taco and you gonna say you ain't got no money. I said, come on, this for $1 something. She gonna say, well, you the one who told me not to be saying I have money. I said, Miss, I know you got money because you got an account over here. You got a few $1,000s. You couldn't buy your daddy a damn taco. That's not how you operate. Somebody helping you, then you do something for him. He gave you a ride. I said, now he say he ain't giving you no ride no.
These generation kids gonna say, but you the parent, you supposed to give me a ride.
I'm
They gonna
telling.
listen. These kids ain't
Fat
like
ass
how we
kids.
was growing up. These some
Right.
next level kids.
Yeah. Didn't even buy my brother no taco. He said, oh, that's okay. He said, I ain't never taking her to Jack in the Box no more. And I said, This, you can't do that. I said, you got money. I said, come on now. Make it make sense. This a $2 taco from Jack in the Box your daddy took you. My brother was like, yeah, that shit ain't cool. He was telling me. He was
He
telling.
like, hold on, wait a minute, you can't give me $1 taco. Your daddy
And she
not worth
lived
a
with him.
dollar.
Okay, like she pay rent where you stay, fool. You, if you don't buy your daddy no taco, you got heck of money in your bank account. I'm looking at it. But so what I'm saying is teach your kids that like at a young age. I teach my niece how to manage money, but she's like me. She could be a Jew for real. They all went to a concert and they said the tickets was like $70. She said, oh no, I ain't gonna go. And my other cousin said, cousin, I'll buy your ticket. I looked, I said, she got money for a ticket. She don't see that concert being worth the sacrifice for the $70.
She frugal, but you know what though? That's
Hella.
the way to be, because if she's learning that now, just imagine where she's going to be 10 years from now, because that's the type of
Exactly.
mindset that they do need to have.
But I still want, I mean, still, you want to have fun. But when I said frugal, I didn't mean it like that. So I had like, hold on now. I mean, come on now. Go to the damn concert, kid.
But
You
it's like,
tripping.
if she looks at it like this: if I say no to this, somebody else is going to pay for it. So let me just play broke. Let me just say I ain't got it. So see, somebody else still covered the
But you know
ticket
what? She didn't
for.
even go. She didn't even go. My cousin said she bought a ticket. She said, "Oh no, it's okay. It's not that serious." And I said, But here's the thing, y'all. Like sometimes, and I get it, but some things too. Life is short. You still want to have your experience. Like have fun. You don't want to be like that because you want to penny pinch. Because that one right there be penny pinching. She insane with it, but I
That is
did.
hilarious,
But
though.
I wanted to do something for them that we didn't really have done for us. And I feel like that's what we do. We create opportunities for generations after us to have them established. You know what I'm saying? And I do. Like me and my brother, he's one of my best friends. And he called me. He said, I just want to tell you I love you and I thank you. He said, because you set my kids up for stuff that I couldn't set my kids up for. He said, like, they have everything we didn't have. Like they got all this, they got credit, they got life insurance policies. Like they are set. He said, and you did that. And I said, yeah, because I learned the game. And so that's what it sometimes is about. We make it easier for the generations after us. You know, I didn't get a chance to get all that. My mom did the best that she could with what she had, and I'm grateful for that. And so I'm just trying to do the best that I can with what I have, and hopefully, whoever comes after me, they can make it even more easier.
That's incredible. I love that.
You know.
And she's gonna do well though. Like she has a great guide. She has you and her father that's gonna, be able to continue pouring into her and
Hmm.
teaching her the difference amongst things that she can do and how she can improve.
Oh
It's not they're
yeah.
not gonna always get it, right away, but over time
No,
they'll learn it.
no, they will definitely learn it.
And if we don't teach it, I don't, who will? I say that to adults too, like adults who have bad credit. Find somebody that has good credit. Ask them to put you down as an authorized user. You don't want the card.
Exactly.
You don't want to use it just as an authorized user. Within 2 months,
Right.
your points, like the actual, it's another trick that a lot of people don't understand about this. When you do put somebody as an authorized user on your credit,
Hmm.
if their credit history is 26 years old, guess what? You have a 26-year-old leverage. And a lot of people don't
Exactly.
understand that. Years of how long you've had credit make a huge difference on the banks. It does.
Exactly. And you know what also too, like just being a minority, we have to work extra hard because I was for a minute I was considering building a wine tasting room. And so I had a deal on the table with this guy who pretty much almost owned about the city of Brentwood. He just be buying up properties. That's why if you have an opportunity to buy up properties, buy up plazas and stuff like that. Um, but I ended up trying to get a loan so that I could just establish this winery, but I didn't like the deal with the man anyway. So I just squashed that deal. It wasn't a good deal for what he wanted for the building. But I didn't even get the loan after having a whole business plan with for a financial forecast and all that. And let me tell you this, being black and my personal credit score had to be used. My personal credit score was an 840, and these fools denied me for a loan. And
Wow.
so we have to work 10 times harder. And I said that. And so when I tell some people that, I told somebody that and they were so pissed. They said, "Do you want the loan? Because we can give it to you." But now I done moved on. I'm like, if I build a tasting room, I'll do it later. Now I'm in Dallas. If I build a tasting room, I'll build it out here. But once something don't work out, I'll be like, okay, God, maybe that wasn't for me. It could have been for me, but I just dealing with who I was dealing with the bank. I mean, with all the money that I have in an 840 credit score, they didn't give me an approval, and there's somebody else that they gave approval to with horrible credit who didn't look like me, who didn't even have the financial backing that I had, but they took a chance on them. And so they told me what they told me when I submitted my business plan. I have a mentor he's actually white. He's a mentor. He's been in the wine business for 20 some years. And they tell me, they say, "Well, we will give you this loan if he's part owner." That's what they told me.
Wow.
And I said, "No way." And but I had somebody else say, "Well, Leia, you could have gave him 1% of your company." I didn't think about that. And he's cool, no reflection on him. And I could have gave him 1% of your company just to put him on a paperwork for them to take a chance with you on a loan. But I just didn't want to do that. I was real pissed at that, but that didn't work for me. So what I'm saying is, depending on who we are, we gotta work extra hard. And sometimes we don't, stuff ain't always handed to us. You see what I'm saying? But it was, and I get it. Maybe they say we ain't giving $1 million to this person, blah blah. And I'm not using $1 million of my own money to build no winery. I'm just not going to do it. But
It's just the
I'm just saying
principle.
it's
It's
not
the
always
principle
easy.
that you had everything aligned to where there
I
was no
did
reason as to why you weren't approved. But it's like, oh,
exactly.
if I bring this white man on, then all of a sudden it's all green. That's
Swear to
not.
God,
At
that's
that
what the
point, it's
deal
like I
was.
don't even want to do business with y'all because now I see what I'm having to deal with, and
Yep.
doing business with y'all, what is that going to lead into? Because
Right.
just because I get the loan now, I mean, I have to do business with y'all during the duration of this loan. How
Exactly.
I'm going to be treated? What is customer
Exactly.
service going to be like for me if you have a
Exactly.
problem with my race? Like, come on
Right.
now, that's
So I went
terrible.
another route. I just went another route. And so I said, you know what? Maybe it's not the season for the wine tasting room. If it is, I'll build one. But until then, this is my sign. Let me keep going. But yeah, so I mean, we have our, I don't want to make it seem like stuff is perfect. We have our little hurdles that bother me because I couldn't understand why I just couldn't get it. And me, I'm good for a lawyer. Don't play games with me. I'm one of them. We'll go to court because it's easy money going to court for stuff like that. And somebody said, "Well, in this game, they could do that though. You could do that, and it won't look like discrimination because it's their money. They take a chance on whoever." And I just couldn't believe it. So I learned that. So you got to be adaptable and sometimes be resilient because sometimes you'll get rejected. People reject. That was rejection for me. There was no need to reject me. I mean, I had it all at the tip of my fingers, and they still gave me a no.
That's okay though, because guess what? God is still moving mountains for you. Everything is
Oh
still
yeah,
falling into place, and they didn't deserve you. That's the way I look at it. Because
yeah.
how do you pass up on somebody that has that? Like everything is there, and incredible human being by that. Like, come on, but that's their regret. That was their greatest loss.
Right, right. Because I mean, that would have been booming and banging. Where for the place I was in, they hadn't had a winery in the city I was in, so we'd have been the first, not just the first tasting room, but the first black owned tasting room. There was no other one, but it's it's cool. I mean, we have our bumps in the road, y'all. So for those of y'all who's listening, you get your bumps in the road. It's never a rejection. Sometimes it's just God's protection. You just got to keep pushing and go to the next thing and just wait. Sometimes it's not the season for everything. So.
Yeah, Melody said when one door closes, a bigger one opens.
Period.
Absolutely. I want to ask,
Period.
how did you get into content creating, and did you um how did you get with Get Money Meta?
So how did I came across Get Money Meta, I think just online on Facebook one day, and I just joined the group. And I had what was I doing? I think I had gotten to like a car accident. So I was recovering, I was recovering from a car accident, and I was like, I had all the time in the world. And I ended up doing that. But I always used to be just posting just random stuff that would drop in my spirit or from conversations I had with people, because I did have a podcast, and I know I was supposed to be doing that, but I'd be getting caught up in so much stuff. But on the ministry aspect, there's such a great pull for me to do certain stuff. But you know how you don't see some, we don't always see ourselves how everybody always see us. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes and I think that's a good thing because it keeps you humble in a sense. And so I just, I would just be posting random content, and then I would just be trying to engage with other people. And but here's the thing about social media that I think people got to understand too. You got a trillion friends. It's like a trillion friends, but your algorithm may only show you the same 10 or 15 people. Sometimes you got to think about somebody and go to their page to say, let me engage with them. But 9 times out of 10, when you log on, you just going to engage with who you see in your algorithm on your news feed. And it might be 10 people out of the 5,000 friends you have. And so they may get the bulk of your engagement. You get what I'm saying? And I think sometimes, yeah. Mhm. Right. Yep. Right. And so I pretty much, if I see it, I'm just going to engage in it. And it's not like you ignoring people or you trying to dodge other people. It's just you just dealing with what's in front of you at that time. You see what I'm saying? And then life be lifing on top of that. But I appreciate Get Money. I like the family dynamic and the support and everything like that. It's a lot of dope people in that group. Maybe one day we can all get together. And there's a lot of support in that group and a lot of love that's shown in that group. And so I just definitely just been consistent, try to be consistent with them. And so I appreciate that. It's a lot of connections, a lot of business owners, a lot of people, and a lot of good content that I see from my people. And I gotta admit, it's so crazy because I see Get Money Meta people, and now I don't see all my personal friends and family no more.
I know, me either. Like, I don't know
I
how
hate
it's like
that.
the algorithm is just pushing us towards that. I'll be like, where's, hold on, like
Yeah.
today I forgot my cousin's birthday.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah, I don't see
wait a
my
minute, I'm
people
not
no
gonna get
more.
cussed out for this.
Mhm. I don't see family and friends no more. And so that is a little bit crazy. And sometimes, like I said, out of sight, out of mind, you always be thinking of my cousin be like, did you see that post? And I said, cousin, if I see it, I'ma like it. I'm gonna say something. If I didn't say nothing, if I didn't like it, I didn't see it. She can't even show her baby no love because he ain't even in her algorithm. And
Right.
I'm just like, you got to think about that. And sometimes you ain't be thinking about everybody. It's a lot going on. And
It
so she
is.
said,
It
not
is.
even
It's a
her
lot.
husband.
I feel like it definitely is. But I feel like, you do the best that you can. Like you show
Uh-huh.
up and you do the best that you can. I mean,
Right.
you try and get to everybody as much as you can. But
Right.
it's an incredible space for sure.
Right. And that's a lot balancing that out, for people who work on top of having just your regular life issues and stuff like that. I just had like a major surgery 2 months ago. I had to have a emergency surgery 2 months ago. So I was recovering for like a whole entire month. It just was a lot. Like it'd be a lot be going on in life. And so, you have your moments of just seem like life be life, and then you come back like, oh, I'm here, y'all. What's up?
Right. Melody said, hold on, let me go to it. She
Uh,
just said something. She said,
I
you
love
came
that.
through in cold game, Queen.
Yes, yes, that movie Cold Game. That Errol don't be playing when he be needing his little shots done. That was dope. That was dope. Thank you. I was glad for that opportunity. I said I'm gonna do something else, but I told Errol, I was like, you can't give me the ratchet scenes
I'm
because I don't
hollering.
I ain't got nothing going on like that. He was like, oh yeah, I gotta give you a bougie scene. No, you just can't give me no ratchet scene. Like, he like in the ghetto at the park. Like I'm in Dallas in this high rise. I don't know where the ghetto park at out here. Like
Oh
I'm in
my.
downtown. Like,
Right.
yeah, but
Lachelle says she needs to know more about this wine and do you ship?
yes. So we were talking about that. So we were shipping. We do ship, but guess what? We are completing our application for our shipping license. So right now we only do local. So we only got like 3 more forms to turn in for our shipping license to be back to the United States. Of course we used to ship everywhere, but earlier I had said, Lachelle, I said I had to cut out the middleman because he was charging me too much, so I became the middleman. So the person who had the liquor shipping license, we shipped through him. I didn't like the fact that he wanted a major cut, which was only giving us less profit. Make sure y'all know y'all math when it come to business, and make sure you making your profits, and you got to be able to get that down. They have classes and stuff. You can get online and know your profits and know what stuff look like. And so what I did was I said, hell no. So I took over the shipping. So we just applied for our application, and she just emailed me. We need like 3 or 4 more forms, because when I say we, I actually started this wine business. I put my brother on this wine business because I wanted my brother to have some. So I made him my business partner, because what's gonna happen is when I expand this business, I'm gonna give it to him. He can just have it. I just need for him to have something, and I'm gonna move on to something else. And so um so now when I turn that in, that's why I haven't been marketing that so much, because people do be buying our wines locally. Locally is like, where I'm from, people come and then we can drop it off, or people come pick up cases and all that. But when I start posting that, people be ordering, and I have to cancel those orders until we complete this phase. So when that shipping license come completely through, um what we're doing next is we're bringing all the wines to Dallas, because we're gonna ship out of Dallas. Y'all know I'm a start marketing and get and doing that, but I just don't want heck of people to place orders and we gotta cancel them right now. So I'm gonna let y'all know. So just I gotta finish that. She did email me. I just gotta turn in some forms, and y'all know me. That's what I'm doing everything except for just finishing my last little 3 forms that this lady asked for. So I already paid for. We already got the license number, but in order for us to get it where I can legally ship it, that's where I'm at with that.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, let us
Mhm.
know because I definitely want to try your wine.
Thank
And I
you. And
hope
if you,
that you are able
uh
to do that wine tasting as well. That would be cool. That would be
that would be
super
cool.
dope.
And then if anybody want to branch off into the liquor and wine industry, then we can ship for y'all. See what I'm saying? You see how that go? Somebody want to create something. See, somebody want to get off into the industry and do some
Advertising, let's go.
yeah, some
Marketing,
private
what you
labeling,
need?
tequila, cognac, whatever you want to do. And then you say you got a shipper, because we gonna have our shipping license to do it for you. See how that go? We just trying to
Yeah,
build
you open
businesses.
opportunities in.
Yeah, because minorities only make up less than 2% of the beverage and food industry. It's $1 billion industry. Imagine $1 billion industry only make up less than 2%.
And we make some of the best
We not doing
food. Wait,
shit.
we make
It's a
some of the
lot for us
best
to
food.
do.
Wait a minute.
Exactly. She said y'all make some of the best food. We're not exactly. We only make up less than 2% of the food and beverage industry. Do you know what that means? Right.
Chemicals in that food.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's a lot to scale out here, and I'm all for helping people. I'm all for helping people. If somebody got a question or something personal, just ask me. If I know it, I'm gonna definitely tell you. Um, and I don't know lawyers is expensive, but if you can get one, they can be helpful. Because too much free money is
Absolutely.
going around here. You can take. I'm telling you.
It is absolutely. We're gonna have to come back with you and just do a segment where we just talk about all these different resources,
Hmm.
different ways how to get started from credit to
Okay.
financial literacy, just different things.
Okay.
If someone wanted to get started in the wine business, how they could go about that. Like just
Okay.
different things because I
Hmm.
know that it is a lot of people that want to do a lot of things. It's just maybe sometimes lack of time, lack of understanding, lack of resources. But I would love to do that with you because I feel like it would definitely make a change in our society for sure.
Most definitely. I thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody. This was dope.
they can follow you, support you. Um, just how are
Okay.
people able to get in contact with you, and on what platforms?
So I'm on Facebook, of course, as what's my name on Facebook? Oh, my name is my name, Alaya White on Facebook. I think Instagram, I think it's Alaya Denise. And I'm on TikTok. I think it's like Alea Denise on TikTok. You can always contact me. You can inbox me via Facebook. And then also, yeah, send me a message or tag me sometimes because it could be a lot, and I can't. Them notifications be massively large. I can't keep up with everybody. And I'm scatterbrained. So can I be honest? I don't like lying.
That's
Shit, I'm
that's why I'm gonna get
scatterbrained.
that phone number and
Yeah.
just text directly.
Right. Hit me directly and ask me anything. Don't be ashamed because I wherever I can help, I can definitely help. I don't never mind being a help to anybody if you have a question on something. Cause I know I don't know everything, but I can pretty much probably come in a little bit on any conversation. If on any conversation, we can talk crypto stocks, realty,
Absolutely.
whatever it is like that, human resources, corporate, organizational management. Like I can come in with a little bit of knowledge on something, if not a whole lot. So yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely available. And I'm not like that. So it's all love.
I love that. Well, Alea, I just
Yeah.
want to say thank you so much for joining us this evening. I truly appreciate you, all of your knowledge. We're going to
Thank you.
continue this. We're going
Love
to have
it.
us create us a little panel of maybe you and a few other people in different industries where we can really have some conversations and really be able to
Yeah.
help others.
We gotta plan something, y'all, where we can meet in person. We gotta do something.
That would be amazing. I think we would all too.
Heck of fun. Thank you.
Tonight. Sure y'all follow and support Alaya D. White. She's a powerhouse. Anything that you guys may have, any questions that you may have, reach out to her. She's willing to help.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shanti. I appreciate it coming on here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.